guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be going over sun signs in the natal chart. Okay, sun signs in the natal chart. And in this episode we're going to be talking about having your sun sign in Aries. Okay, in your natal chart, having sun sign in Aries. So before we get into that, I have to remind you, if you want to book a reading with me, you certainly can. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com. And we could definitely book a reading and go forward with that. Okay? So getting back into sun in Aries in the natal chart. Okay? Sun in Aries in the natal chart. And the first thing I can say about this is, one, having your sun in Aries, you're born in between March 20th and April 20th, okay? And this is the beginning of springtime, the blooming season, when we start to finally see the sun more, where plants start to bloom, and, we just start seeing more brightness, and we have more of the day, okay? Very energetic, okay, season, and this is very representative of Aries, okay? So people with their sun in Aries, very energetic, okay? This is almost like a new year, okay? Some people can say astrologically the springtime and Aries season is actually the new year. But yes, this is going to reflect in people with sun in Aries, okay? And a big thing with sun in Aries people is you guys are so energetic. There's so much energy. Fire energy represents energy and movement. Aries is the sign of action, movement, okay? And you put it in your sun sign, which represents your spirit, how you act, how you behave, how you express yourself and turn your light on. So all this fire energy makes a sun in Aries person very energetic. As kids, you could have been moving around a lot. And just in general, you like to move, you like to be active. You have lots of energy to burn because you're very energetic. So much energy to burn in the day. So much movement, okay? Sun in Aries is a very action-orientated sign. And because of this, I also like to say sun in Aries people can be very athletic, okay? The athletics is so great for Aries, okay? Because you have so much energy, okay? You could just be moving so much. And sports and athletics is such a productive way of utilizing your energy, utilizing movement, okay? So all that energy, yes, definitely manifests a person who can be very athletic, okay? You could like working out in the gym, doing sports, all those type of physical activities really helps you burn that energy and release that energy you want to so badly, okay? And yeah, going into the athletics is really good because sun in Aries people can be very body smart, okay? And body smart is knowing how to use your body, okay? Energetically, endurance-wise, strength-wise, flexibility-wise. So because sun in Aries people are so action-orientated, so much about movement and physical activity, this leads into a great possibility of them excelling in the athletics, excelling in sports, and excelling in activities that deal with movement. Okay, so definitely a very physical, energetic, athletic sign. Also, with all this energy, sun in Aries people are very impulsive. I like to say sun in Aries people have a very impulsive instinct. Okay, so with fire signs, it deals with, your natural instincts, your adrenaline, your energy. And when you have Aries is so much about action, okay? Do things now, think later. So sun in Aries people are naturally very impulsive and they like to act on their instincts. So once they get a feeling and they like to just act on it, whatever they feel, they like to just act on it. So this can make them very, very, very impulsive. Very, very impulsive. And this is great because this is all about motivation and getting things done. So there's a lot of productivity that can be done with this energy. But also you have to be careful because with all this impulsiveness can create accidents, okay? And danger. Sun in Aries people, yes, they're very energetic and they're very impulsive, but this can lead to accidents because they're taking on actions first and then thinking about the consequences later, okay? This is equivalent to jumping off of a high cliff and then you land and you hurt yourself because instead of calculating and looking like, this is pretty far. Maybe I should practice jumping off of smaller, platforms and see how well I can land first because I might hurt myself. The Aries person is going to be like, oh my God, I really want to jump off. I really want to jump off. Let me jump off. And then they jump off. And then like they hurt themselves and like, oh man, that hurt. But they're low-key probably happy that they just did it anyway. But yes, be careful with your impulses because yes, you can definitely get into lots of danger and accidents, overestimating yourself or just taking on too much action and not calculating first and using your mind to think out the process before you take action. So definitely a huge trait with Aries. Very, very impulsive. Also, with Sun and Aries people are very, what I like to say, ego competitive, okay? Because the Sun rules our ego, okay? This is what we want to be. This is what we want to act. This is how we want to portray ourselves and what we want to present to the world and what we're fixated on presenting. And Aries deals with competition. Aries is the sign of your independence, yourself. So it's very self-focused. It's very energetic. It's very competitive. And when you add the Sun here, because this is Sun in Aries, it deals with this competitiveness in your ego. So that ego is only going to make you more competitive because ego is very fixated. It's very focused on self. It doesn't really sway for anything. So with that being said, Sun and Aries people, their egos is all about competitiveness. They're very competitive. Okay, their competitiveness is in their ego. They pride themselves a lot on how much they can be winners, how they can win, okay, how they can excel, okay, how they can be for themselves. So, very good for competition, okay, very good for winning. But it can also make you very like stubborn and egotistical and maybe even a sore loser. Okay, with Aries, because their egos is so much about competition and being the winner and self. They can be very competitive, ego-driven, but of course that can create issues when you don't win, okay, when you don't get your way, okay, when things don't go your way. So yes, Sun and Aries people can have a very strong ego with that, and they could have issues losing, have issues not getting things their way, have issues not being the winner. So that could cause them a lot of issues and kind of bruise their ego. So again, because of this makes them highly competitive people. They like to win. They like to win competitions. They like to be the first winner. They like to do the best for themselves and putting themselves on top, okay? Again, Aries deals with the self, the identity, you. It's all about you. And then you put it in Sun, which is your ego, all about how you express yourself, how you identify yourself, okay, what you're fixated on. So you're fixated on you. And Aries is very competitive. It's very energetic. So it wants to win, okay? So very ego competitive, very, very, very competitive, very much all about winning and being the winner. Sun in Aries wants to, and when they don't get their way, it can lead to a bruised ego. It could lead to a sore loser. It could lead to a person who is super duper, competitive, for no reason. Sometimes, you might be playing a game and everyone's playing a game and having fun, and the Sun in Aries person is so focused on winning, and everyone can handle being in second place, being in third place, or not winning, or letting the game, just having fun and letting the game play out how it is. Who cares who wins? But Sun and Aries people, they're gonna want to win. Their egos are gonna be a part of it. Anytime you put them in some type of competition, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's just a game. They're gonna take it seriously and want to win because their egos are so connected to it. Okay, so definitely something to know. Like, Sun and Aries people are definitely very ego competitive. Out of this ego can lead into lots of frustration, okay? Aries is a fire sign. It deals with anger and explosion and rage and all this adrenaline. So like when you don't get your way, yes, there could be lots of like frustration. And with that ego, the ego's sensitive. It wants to do it its way. When it doesn't get its way, this can lead to lots of anger, lots of rage, lots of frustration of not getting things done your way. So be careful with Sun in Aries because it's a powerful ego, because again, they're very competitive, energetic, but again, we don't always win. So when these people don't win, this can lead to lots of frustration, just a very bruised ego, and it just could be so much more serious than the average person who can handle losing a competition, can handle something just being more lighthearted and just a game. Whereas Aries is just like so competitive, so into it. So yes, do not be surprised if you're playing around with the Aries and they get super competitive, and let's say you win and they're just angry and frustrated. That could be a possible manifestation, because like I said, they're very competitive and they got that really sensitive ego when it comes to competition. Because of this frustration, Sun and Aries people can make unnecessary competition. So creating a competition that it doesn't need to be there. Okay, so like you're in a group activity and with the Sun in Aries, and everyone's doing their role, and they see you excelling somewhere, and instead of like supporting you and just recognizing you for your strengths, they're like, oh, I want to be the person. I want to be the person excelling. I want to be the person doing this. And then there goes the Sun in Aries person competing with you in a group activity that we're supposed to be using each other. So yeah, definitely be mindful of the ego frustration. But even though with this frustration and this competition, what I will say though with Sun and Aries is that they are very good with competition. Nevertheless, they are really good with competition, and they do put their best foot forward. So yeah, yes, they are sensitive with competition, but they're also, on the other hand, really good with it as well too. So they can kind of balance each other out in a sense. Also, with Sun and Aries, there's a lot of impatience, okay? Aries is not a patient sign at all. Aries likes to go, think later, okay? Think and plan later, just do. You know, very impulsive, and, you know, their patience can be very short. Okay, Aries just likes things to get done, okay, things to go, and when things aren't going, when things have to take time, when things can't just move, they're very impatient. This is a very fiery, energetic, motivating sign. They don't really have the time to wait. You got to think of fire. Fire just burns, it lights up, and it gets bigger and bigger. Like, they just want things to go. So the Sun and Aries people can also have issues with patience as well too. Not the most patient people, not the type of people who want to wait on anything. All right, so definitely be mindful of that, because your patience can definitely be short. Also, with Sun and Aries, these people are very exciting, okay? And they're exciting and fun to be around because they have such initiating energy, okay? They like to initiate, okay? Aries is the sign of an initiation. You know, it's how you start your car. It's the gas. It's what gets you going. It's that boost. So these people, Sun and Aries, they are like that in general. They're an initiation of energy. Okay, you know, Sun and Aries are the type of people, when they go into a group of people, they're ready to get things active. They want to do stuff. Hey, let's go here. Let's go there. Let's do that. And they'll do it. And the thing about it is, this type of energy is very exciting because it motivates other people. You know, instead of talking and planning things out, thinking things out, feeling things out, just do it. And when you're around a Sun and Aries person, to see that, just to see them do it, take action, you know, hey, let's just do this. Hey, we got a plan. Let's go for it. Let's just do it. So spontaneous, so energetic, so initiative. They inspire other people to take action. So when you see an Aries taking action, they're just the type of people to get other people excited, because they can know how to initiate energy. You know, they don't sit there and plan things out and try to balance things and see how they kind of just go in and take action, and it motivates other people to take action. You know, that's how we see things. It's like, you know, we can sit here and think about things and debate about things and plan things out, but to be around someone who could just take on, take the action, take on, and just go, it's so inspiring, and it motivates people around you, you know. Sun and Aries, they initiate energy. You know, they're the type of people, they come into a party and they just start moving. They're just so energetic. They really give energy, because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people can't just initiate energy. A lot of people are not courageous enough. A lot of people are too worried about what can happen wrong, you know. But with Aries people, they don't care. So they always get the ball going. They always initiate things. They always get things going. They always start things out. They're always like, hey, I have a great idea. Let's do this and let's go. You know, and this also not only makes them very exciting because they're so energetic and they just initiate energy, it also makes them great role models and leaders, okay? Aries is a leader, okay? Because the person who initiate, the person who is gonna take the first step, the person who's gonna take the first jump is the person everyone watches, okay, as an example, okay, because they're the first, okay? Aries represents the first. It's the first sign. So it's all about the initiation. It's all about the first person to take the jump. It's all about the first person to take the action. So this makes them leaders, okay, because they're the first and everyone watches the first. Sometimes you don't want to jump off something because you want to see someone else do it first. That's what your sun in Aries is here for. They're going to do it first and inspire everyone else to follow them and make you feel like, oh, okay, maybe I can do it too. Maybe I can jump off this cliff too. But yeah, you know, it's just so inspiring. And it just also, again, not only just exciting and inspiring to be around an Aries, someone who could just initiate so much action and energy, and pour it into you and inspire you, but it just makes them natural leaders, natural role models, people who lead the way, people who are the first to do something, you know, trailblazers, you know, is what I like to say with Sun and Aries. So they're very courageous for that, you know, and they're natural leaders in that sense, whether they want to be leaders or not. You know, because to me, a Leo is more of a leader because a Leo likes attention. They like a backup. Aries is more like they're a leader just by accident. You know, it's just because of the way they're moving so independently, so initiatively. They just inspire other people to follow them too. So yeah, Sun and Aries, definitely natural leaders. So with Sun and Aries, these people are very blunt and straightforward, okay? This is going to be a lot about their attitude and their personality. You see a lot in Sun and Aries people. It's like, they're very blunt and straightforward. They like to just hit the target, you know. Aries is like that kind of simple sign, you know. So it's all about, you know, just yourself and hitting your direct target, you know. And this is going to show in your personality as a Sun and Aries person. A lot of the way that you behave and express yourself is very straightforward, very blunt. And in the way that you initiate things and the way that you just go for things without thinking about it. Even the way you speak and talk and communicate with people and express yourself, you're very straightforward and blunt. You just like to go straight for the target. You don't like all the complexities and details of things. You just feel something, you want something, you go and take action, you go straight forward for it. And it can show in the way you express yourself and behave, and you can be very blunt in the way that you talk to people. You know, some people might like, you know, be indirect or sugarcoat things or try to go around the bush. Or no, with Sun and Aries people, they're just known for like just being straight up, being very blunt, very straightforward. Whether you like it or not. So definitely a big part of their personality. Also, anger and rage is a big part of Sun and Aries too, okay? Again, the Sun sign is your ego. It's your spirit. It's how you express yourself, okay? This is what you want to be, all right? And then you have that fiery spirit energy in Aries, a very fiery energy as well too. So the anger and the rage here is huge. Like, Sun and Aries are not known for like being like bitter or angry, but they are known for exploding and having their moments, okay? So they're the type of people to lash out on you, rage at you, curse you out, whatever they're feeling at the moment, okay? Now, it's not going to be like Scorpio where they keep a whole grudge. You know, they'll like lash out, act out, and then they'll get over it, you know. So it won't be like a long-lasting anger, but still there's lots of potential for rage and anger and explosions, you know, lashing out, you know, because it's such a fiery energy, okay? there's a lot of energy, but there's that energy comes with rage, it comes with anger, it comes with fire. So be careful to get these people mad, because they will fight back. Okay, Sun in Aries, that energy in general is a fighter. Okay, and especially if you bruise their ego, they will fight. Okay, because this is the ego Sun in Aries. So Aries, a fighter, they will fight for their egos. Like, get them angry, bruise their ego in some type of way. Yes, they will fight back. Okay, these are fighters. These are people who will express anger, will express rage, will explode on you if they are angry. So be mindful of that, Sun in Aries. And Sun in Aries, be mindful of your sensitive ego as well too, because a lot of times y'all be popping off and getting really angry because y'all are a little bit too sensitive. Okay, so be careful, understand that everything isn't a fight. And, people aren't always intentionally bruising your ego, all the time. With all this fire energy is, of course, sex, okay? Fire definitely rules sex, and this is no exception for Sun in Aries people. Sun in Aries people, they can have a very sexual image, okay? Aries rules the first house, so it definitely deals with your identity and how you identify yourself and who you are at the surface level, It's kind of like your icon in a way. What people first see, what you look like, what you identify as. And the Sun deals with, your personality, okay, your expressive self. So this is very much your personality, your identity, how people see you, how you express yourself, Sun in Aries. But because it's Sun, Sun rules sex, okay? And Aries rules sex as well too. A lot of your identity and what people see is very sexual, okay? Sun in Aries people definitely do have a very sexual identity. Now, this could be because they're maybe very in shape, okay? Because again, Sun in Aries is a very physical, energetic placement. So you could be really in shape, like your body just looks really sexy because you're in very good shape. So Sun in Aries, you could be like that, like your identity, people feel a lot of sexual energy in your identity because literally your physical body is like really in shape, okay? And because it's in your ego, your sun sign, this is what you're expressing. So Sun in Aries people like to express their sexual identity. They like to show off their sexiness, basically. So don't be surprised, Sun in Aries people like to show a little skin, like to show off their muscles, their nice body parts or whatever like that. Like it could have a very sexual identity. People can really see that straight on when they see you. Also, beyond just the sexual identity and image, just sexual energy in general, okay? Again, Aries and Sun is sexual energy, so naturally these people have it. So even if you're not showing it on the outside, say your Sun is in Aries and you're like, I don't be showing skin, or I don't be trying to be in shape and show my muscles or my abs or my butt or whatever, I don't be doing all that. Yeah, you don't have to do all that, but energetically you just have a lot of sexual energy, okay? Maybe in the, so Sun in Aries, it's not always intentional, okay? So much a part of their sexual energy is their identity, is who they are, is how they express themselves. So you don't have to intentionally show off yourself sexually. In fact, a lot of Sun in Aries don't. They just naturally ooze out sexual energy and naturally. It's a very sexual sign, lots of sexual energy. These are people who do enjoy having sex, okay? Sun deals with our leisure and not just our spirit and how we express ourselves, but how we also have fun. And if it's in Aries, the sex sign, sex is a great way of them just expressing themselves and having fun. So these people could just love, having sex, maybe hooking up with people and stuff like that. Just like to be sexual or like to express their sexual energy. It's a form of leisure and a creative self-expression. So regardless if you look sexy, whether you're expressing it energetically or just having it for fun, Sun in Aries is definitely a very sexual placement, very sexual sign, and these people naturally have a lot of sexual energy, okay? Also, with Sun in Aries, these people are very independent, okay? It's in their ego. Aries is the sign of independence, and being in the Sun, being this placement, it's in your Sun, this is like your identity, this is like your ego, what you identify with, and you identify with being an individual, being independent. Sun in Aries is a very independent placement. These people like to do things on their own. They don't like to wait for other people. They don't have time to wait for other people. They just want to get things going. They want to get things done, and they know that they can't. If they wait on other people, it's going to slow them down. So a lot of times these people like to be very independent, very courageous. Aries, they like to take on challenges and be very courageous. There's a lot of courage that comes with being an Aries, and that's because of their independence. That's they're willing to go and do something without other people's approval, without other people's help. They just kind of do it, and that's what makes them so inspiring. It's because their motivation and their ability to initiate whatever they want to do on their own and not needing so much support and help and all that type of stuff. So very independent people. And be careful, because this is your ego, so you're really fixated on this independence. Okay, the sun sign. So Sun and Aries people, be careful to not be so stubbornly independent that you're not getting help from other people. You're not asking help, because we all need help, and we can all do better if we did get aid as well too. So yes, very independent, makes them great leaders, makes them great role models. It makes them very strong and courageous because they're so independent. But also, just be careful of not being so egotistically independent that, you say no to help that you actually need, that you miss out on collaboration because you're all about doing things by yourself, So be mindful of that, because, being independent is a very strong strength, and it makes you a great leader, like I said. But it can also limit you, because, again, we're humans. We all need help, and we do great as well when we do collaborate as well too. So definitely something to be mindful of. But these people are very independent. So with your sun in Aries, your sun sign can represent the masculine figure that you looked up to. Okay, so your sun sign can represent your father. Okay, your sun sign can also represent your mother. If you only had a mother, you didn't have a father, your mother was play both roles, the father figure and the mother figure, the masculine role figure. But the sun sign represents masculine role figures, okay? Masculine role models, okay? And a lot of times that is our father, but it could be our mother. And it can also just be anyone in our family, anyone that gave us that type of masculine role. It can even be like a superhero that you look up to, it could be anyone, as long as it really influences you and your ideas of masculinity. It's definitely valid. And with Sun in Aries, your masculine patriarchal role model could have been very Aries-like. Okay, your father could have been very Aries-like, very independent, very warrior-like, very action-orientated, very motivated. Even has their anger episodes as well too. They could fight. They could really lash out too as well too. You could have seen your father like that, or even your mother like that, or whoever really represented that patriarchal example for you. And because you had that example for you, it influenced your personality. Okay, so the moon sign can represent your mother or your kind of matriarchal figure, whereas the sun can represent your father or just your patriarchal figure in general. So it could be anyone. It could be your mother. It could be your uncles. Whoever gave you that kind of masculine patriarchal role was a role model in that level, influence you in a very Aries way, which is also very masculine. So that type of influence your personality, made you want to be very independent, made you look at being masculine as something that you got to be independent, you got to be a warrior, you got to be a fighter, you got to be courageous. All those Aries energies, you got to go and push. So definitely be mindful of that your sun sign also represents that masculine influence on you, and that's why it has an influence on your personality. So the way you looked at that role model, that masculine role model, influenced you to see masculinity in that way. And because it's in Aries, sun in Aries, you looked at it like you got to be a warrior, you got to be a fighter, you got to be courageous, you got to be a leader, you got to push through, okay? You got to be independent, okay? So definitely a strong influence, a strong masculine influence that you have when you have sun in Aries. So Yes, that is Sun in Aries. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Sun Aries. Oh my God, such an exciting energy, such an initiative energy, such a powerful energy. These people are very motivated, very physically active. Okay, they're warriors in spirit. Just be careful with that ego, because I'm telling you, Sun in Aries, your egos are really big and you will fight for it with that Aries energy. You will fight for your ego when you have Sun in Aries. So be careful of that, because you could be very sensitive and you could get into lots of fights. But overall, Aries is such an independent, strong, courageous sign, and a lot of sexual energy as well too. So I hope you Aries people enjoyed that. And for anyone who just needs to understand Aries, I hope you guys enjoyed this. That is Sun in Aries. And if you did book a reading with me, I do astro readings, okay? Birth natal chart astro readings, as well as tarot. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com. And we could go forward with that. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.